In 1911, a man walked into the Louvre Museum in Paris. He didn't come to admire the art, he came to steal the most famous painting in the world. And nobody will see it again for 2 years. This is a story of the greatest art heist ever, and it all started with a simple decision. His name was Vincenzo Peruggia. He wasn't a master thief. He wasn't a criminal mastermind. He was an Italian handyman, a carpenter, someone you'd never notice on the street. Peruggia had worked of the Louvre before. He was hired to help with maintenance and repairs around the museum. This gave him something invaluable. He knew the layout. He knew the security. He knew the routines. And most importantly, he knew where the Mona Lisa hung. But Vincenzo Peruggia wasn't planning to steal it for money. He had a different reason. A reason that would change art history forever. On August 21, 1911, it was a Monday morning. The Louvre was just opening. Few visitors, skeleton crew of staff. Peruggia arrived early. He was dressed as a worker. Nobody questioned him. He went directly to the Salon Carré, the room where the Mona Lisa hung. The painting was protected by a simple wooden frame. No glass, no alarms, just a painting on the wall. Peruggia pulled out a screwdriver. He unscrewed the painting from the frame. It took him less than 2 minutes. The Mona Lisa, the most valuable, most famous painting in the world, was now in his hands. He wrapped it in cloth. He hid it under his work clothes. Then he walked out of the Louvre. Nobody stopped him. Nobody saw him. It was that simple. By afternoon, the theft was discovered. By evening, it was front-page news across Europe. By the next morning, every newspaper in the world was screaming, "The Mona Lisa has been stolen." The French government was in panic. The police were baffled. They had no leads, no witnesses, nothing. Thousands of theories emerged. Was it a political statement? A jealous artist? International art thieves? The reward grew. Investigators flooded the Louvre. The painting became more famous in its absence than it ever was hanging on the wall. Museums across the world increased security. Insurance companies rewrote policies. The art was shaken to its core. But Vincenzo Peruggia had disappeared. For 2 years, the Mona Lisa was gone. Completely gone. Here's where the story gets stranger. In 1913, a man walked into an art dealer shop in Florence, Italy. He had a package. He had a painting. He claimed to be a patriot. He said he had stolen the Mona Lisa to return it to Italy, to bring it home after hundreds of years of French occupation. It was Vincenzo Peruggia. He believed, incorrectly, that the Mona Lisa had been stolen by France during the Napoleonic Wars. So when he finally approached the art dealers in Florence in December 1913, he wasn't trying to sell it. He was trying to repatriate it. "I am Leonardo," he wrote. "I have recovered the national treasure." But the moment Poggi authenticated the painting, Peruggia was arrested. There was no reward, no celebration, just a trial. And surprisingly, the Italian court was lenient. They sentenced him to just 7 months in jail, reduced even further because of time served. Peruggia walked free. The Mona Lisa returned to the Louvre, and both became immortal. Vincenzo Peruggia returned to France after her release. He never became rich from the thefts. He never profited from it. He opened a paint shop in a small village in the French Alps and lived quietly. He died in 1925, a forgotten man. But his legacy? Immortal. The Mona Lisa became the most famous painting in the world, not because of Leonardo's genius alone, but because of Peruggia's theft. Today, 8 million people visit the Louvre every year. 80% of them come to see the Mona Lisa. It's protected by bulletproof glass, climate control, and constant surveillance. All because one Italian handyman walked out of a museum carrying a masterpiece. Peruggia proved that sometimes a moment of passion, right or wrong, can change history forever. If you enjoyed this story of art, thieves and secrets, subscribe, because the art was of thousands of mysteries waiting to be uncovered, and we're just getting started.